developing a personal practice. And so that's really one of the goals of this training, is to develop a personal practice where you can be anywhere in the world and lay out your yoga mat and have the tools you need to have a fulfilling experience on the mat. So part of our philosophy is to tap into the inner teacher and silence the inner critic. So go ahead and write that down. Start in your journal some of these philosophies, and they're also mottos of the training. So the first motto or philosophy is silence the inner critic and empower the inner teacher. And so as we're going through this training, you might have times where you feel defeated. You might feel weak, and you might feel like, oh, I can't do this. I'm not strong enough. And that's the time where we really want to change the dialogue to empower the inner teacher and say to ourselves, hey, relax and breathe, go with the flow. So also write that down. And it's a nice way to start the training is, in your journal, is to have relax and breathe and go with the flow. So as we go through this training and things get a little crazy, you can say, hey, all right, relax and breathe and go with the flow. And then the third thing I would like for you to write down, because we like to work in threes, is live in the question. And when I was in my teacher training in San Francisco with Larry, he told us to write that down. And we were like, what? Why do we have to write that down? Why do we have to write down live in the question? And it's within the questions that we can experience the phenomenon of the infinite. So we're not going to agitate our mind for an answer, but instead live in the question. So as questions arise during this training, write those questions down. What is MDR? It's okay to be asking that right now. What is MPS? How do I log into Instagram? There's going to be all kinds of questions. And right now, even more importantly than ever, is we are in the unknown right now. And so if we can be okay with the unknown and trust the process as it unfolds, we're going to have a much more peaceful experience than having to feel like we have to understand everything right now. We're going to get to the alignment of the hands and the feet. We're going to get to the individual poses and breaking those down on the mat. Right now, this is about just getting into your space, getting into your creative mind and your creative self, and getting into something that's bigger than us, and that's the unknown, and trusting the process. So a big part of your homework right now is, if you are taking teacher training from home, which if you're watching this video, most likely you are, then where's going to be your sacred space? And where are you going to lay down your mat? And what is going to be your special times of the day that you check into the videos and you take a look at your manual and you work on different exercises? So creating space is a big part of this process. And so for tonight, that's your homework, is to create space and relax and breathe and go with the flow. Be inspired. Namaste.